Pour yourself a cold one and join us for an hour filled to the brim with fun.
It hurts in my ears right now.
Entertainment.
Cheeky, bang, bang.
Information.
I need some water and a washcloth.
And a little weirdness.
Can I be a duck? Yeah, I don't think they want me to be a duck.
It's Happy Hour with DJ Kyle.
Welcome to Happy Hour. I want to say a special thank you to all of our sponsors. Our veterinary, thank you for your support of Happy Hour. Surdike Yamaha, year-round fun. Ozarks Amphitheater, the exclusive attraction of Happy Hour. The official water of Happy Hour is our good friends at Lindy Spring. And of course, thank you to American Elm Company for the great decor that you have set up for us here today. I want to let you all know we have a great show on the way for you. Ozarks Amphitheater, we sit down and chat with Tom Abbott about some of the things that are going on there. Jim Paisley comes in, tells us about the origin of phrases. Fantastic segment. You're going to want to check that out. Also sit down with Dr. Aaron Riedel from Family Chiropractic. He's going to be telling us about the reasons we need to be adjusted and the ways that will help us in life. And of course, we have a Furry Friends. All of that and a whole lot more right here on Happy Hour.
The wait is officially over. Introducing the Beneteau Cruiser line at Surdike Yamaha, just in time for the summer. The Beneteau Cruiser, where luxury meets innovation at the Lake of the Ozarks. The nicest boat on the lake this summer is the Beneteau Cruiser, only at Surdike Yamaha.
If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV.
While Will and Uncle Chris at Slumberland at the lake for another cup of coffee.
Yeah, we got a crazy story about how the lake formed, right? You're not really going to believe it.
Good, bad, and the ugly, a whole lot more, plus charges officially filed in the viral boat crash from a couple weeks ago.
Like a lot of them too, and a new cell phone law taking effect now.
Hopefully going to improve roadway safety, and a lot of local heroes lately. We'll tell you about that and everything else on this week's Cup of Coffee.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Welcome back to Happy Hour, and we have none other than Tom Abbott from the Ozarks Amphitheater, which is our exclusive attraction of Happy Hour. Tom is sitting in here with us, and Tom, you are about halfway through your season right now?
Yeah, we're halfway through the calendar, and we're actually, the busiest part of our season is yet to come. We've had 9 shows so far. I've got 10 more on the calendar, and we have another announcement next week, so that'll give us 11 shows in the second half of the season. August is my busiest month. We have 5 shows this month.
So it's just going to get busier. I thought the amphitheater was already just buzzing busy every time that I drive by or see anything, and or I'm there. It's just always going. And you still have more shows coming up.
Yeah, there's something always going on, always making improvements, always working on our parking lots, just making changes and improvements as we go along, and still booking shows. It's been exciting. This was just a pop-up. The band is going to be coming through here, and it's on a Thursday night in September. We took a shot at it, but we should be announcing that show next week. So
I can't wait.
And that's a new addition for us.
Okay, well, I very much look forward to that. Speaking of your concert announcements, you do different contests and stuff on Facebook. So I would encourage everyone, please go on Facebook, look up the Ozarks Amphitheater, hit that follow button, make sure you like their post, and they're always doing contests and stuff. So so make sure you check that out, and you'll get all the announcements and stuff like that.
Mary Kay and Matt should have another contest announcement up this Saturday.
Really? Oh, that's fun. They're always such fun things. Like there was some geocaching. There's just finding things throughout the neighborhoods and whatever. I think that's great. Now you guys also have, halfway through the season here, you've brought on another partnership, is that right, with the Ozarks Amphitheater?
Absolutely, very excited about this partnership. We have brought on board, or we've mutually attracted to each other, the Central Ozarks Medical Center as our concert series sponsor. We've been working on this since about April. Actually, the day that our building burnt down, we had a meeting at our conference table at about 4:30 that afternoon with Kelly, the CEO at Central Ozarks Medical Center. We started talking about it, putting all the details together. The building burnt that night.
Oh, wow.
And it's taken us a little while to put it all together, but we're very excited for a multi-year deal with Central Ozarks Medical Center as our concert series sponsor, which helps us take these risks for a Thursday night in September, and also helps us put together bigger shows for next year. We've got 5 or 6 offers in for 2024 already, and I've got dates blocked out on the calendar. So that gives us the confidence moving forward. We've had a great 3 years. Central Ozarks Medical Center has been a partner with us during the COVID days whenever we needed to do testing backstage. Have been phenomenal to help us out with that, and given us the resources here at Lake of the Ozarks that a lot of these touring bands have asked for. So it was just a natural fit. I approached them at a meeting one time. I was like, hey, would you? And they said, absolutely, we would. Let's sit down and talk about it. And here we are with a multi-year deal into 2025.
That is fantastic. I'll tell you what, there's some fantastic people to work with. COMC is just, they're really doing a lot for the community and for the area with their mobile trucks and all of their things. So it is a great partnership, I think.
And we want to help bring notoriety to that. We want to help expand the base of services that they provide in the 4 counties, I believe it is, that they work in right now, and just give them more of a presence. And then again, it also helps us grow our business.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about something else that's coming up in September. I noticed on the Facebook page, because I'm highly active on the Ozarks Amphitheater Facebook page.
Where would we be without Facebook?
I have to see, like, are they announcing a new show? Like, what's going on? Who's coming in next? You guys announced not even a concert, more of like a food festival of sorts.
Tacos and margaritas.
Which are 2 great things. So why not bring them to the amphitheater?
And that's another one of those events we've always talked about, how do we use the venue for things other than just concerts, even though that's what it was built for. It lends itself to that, but there's 80 acres there. There's a lot of facilities. How do we bring other people that's just not there for an evening of music?
Yeah.
And we were approached by a festival organization that they do these. They do them in Orlando. They've done them in St. Louis. They do them in San Diego, Des Moines. They do them all over the country. It's a tacos and margaritas event. So there's like 12 different flavors of tacos, 12 different flavors of margaritas. So you can try all of those. Very low point of entry. I think it's $12 for a GA ticket. There are some $40 VIP packages, get you in an hour early, get you a couple extra drinks for free. And there's going to be a pro wrestling ring. We're going to put that up in the pit.
Wait, what?
A pro wrestling?
I thought that I read that and
Yep.
I thought maybe they're just showing videos. So there's a pro wrestling ring?
There is a full 18 foot by 18 foot square ring that'll be in our pit. If you've been to the amphitheater,
yes,
so you know where the pit
absolutely.
is. So that's going to be set up there. There'll be, the seats around it. We're also going to be doing a battle of the bands that day. The information about that will be forthcoming. If you're a band or even a single act, we're taking a look at those too. But there will be a very competitive battle of the bands going on during that. So you'll have the wrestling, then you'll have a taco eating contest, which is 4 tacos, 6 people, and whoever finishes their 4 tacos the fastest is the winner. There's a couple of different heats for that. Then we roll into a battle of the bands, which each band will get 20 to 30 minutes to play some original songs, play some cover songs. There'll be a panel of judges, and then there's also going to be monetary voting to raise money for Wonderland Camp.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic people to have in the community. Wonderland Camp is just such a great business, such a great thing to have in our community, and so many great people that work there and are helping out so many people.
Sure, Mike Clayton's going to be our MC for that event.
Yes,
so
of
it's going to be nonstop tacos, margaritas, wrestling, taco eating contest, battle of the bands. It's like we try to do everything. We cram it all into about a 6-hour period there, and then everybody goes away with a good time.
Yes, oh, absolutely. Always a fun time at the Ozarks Amphitheater. So what are some other things that you have, like just that you're looking at the amphitheater that you're like, there's some improvements that we're going to do in this section or in this section, or we're going to be...
Well, obviously after our fire early in the season, the main thing we're working on now are our bathroom situation. So we have the plans in place to rebuild bathrooms on the current footprint that was there, and then also add additional bathrooms in the plaza, full-time, full-structured bathrooms in the plaza area. So we're going to make it a 2-pronged attack over the off season. We're building a new sponsor deck that'll have 9 tables on it. So give us a little bit more VIP and sponsor viewing area, because that's been, pretty much sold out for every show.
Yeah.
A lot of interest there. And then we'll be rebuilding our concession stands and offices over the off season. Always looking at ways to improve parking and the entry, which has been going phenomenal. We had 7,100 people in the door the last show for Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
And we left it all on the table there. It was,
absolutely.
It maxed out everything, but we were able to get everybody parked very well, and we had the parking lots cleared in less than 50 minutes from the time he stopped singing till the last car that wanted to leave was out of the parking lot in less than 50 minutes.
That is absolutely amazing, especially, we're not in a big city with, 40 or 50 different ways
yeah, it's not
out
like you're at Arrowhead where you go on 4 different interstates.
Yeah, it's like we pretty much have
It
one
takes
or
some
two
planning
roads
and
to
coordination, but we work on that diligently every show. So
you guys make it smooth. It's,
we try.
So even in your off season, it's not your off season.
No.
It sounds like what you're tackling is a lot of stuff in the off season to.
The off season is where the planning is done. That's where we say we work on the business and not in the business.
I see.
Starting from April to October, you're working in the business.
Yeah,
you're there every day. You're working with
feet
people.
on the ground.
Coming, you're selling tickets. You're moving gravel. You're doing this. In the off season, we're building the shows for next year. We're announcing the shows for next year. We're putting the on sales. We're making major project improvements over the off season. There's not going to be a lot of downtime this year for the Ozarks Amphitheater. I've got a full grounds crew. I've got a full maintenance crew now that we've never had in the past, and I'm going to keep them busy over the wintertime, just continuing to make improvements.
That's great.
We'll work around the weather, and it's still a little seasonal here at Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh yeah, of course. Like it might snow today, and then tomorrow could be 90. So back to this concert announcement. There's no money I can give you today.
No.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait on that one.
We're working on the emails to confirm it as of today. Should announce next Tuesday. It is a grittier country show. I'll put it that way. But it'll be something that everybody will want to come to on Thursday. September the 7th is the date picked for it.
Oh, nice.
So,
oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, quick turnaround, quick on sale for this one.
Absolutely. So check them out online. Make sure you get your tickets for the upcoming shows. I know you have Incubus coming up Friday, August 18th, Saturday, August 19th, the Blue Monster Tour, Blues Traveler. So many great concerts.
Don't forget Saturday night, In This Moment, Motionless in White. Ashes to New, going to be a good rock concert.
Again, like a festival, like so many bands that are up there on stage.
4 bands on stage that night.
It's going to be awesome. Tom, thank you so much for coming in on Happy Hour.
Thank you, Kyle.
And we look forward to all the upcomings from Ozarks Amphitheater. We have more of Happy Hour coming up after this.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
If you want to experience something amazing, go check out the Ozarks Amphitheater. They are the exclusive attraction of Happy Hour, and I tell you what, they have some amazing concerts, already have had some amazing concerts. Make sure you follow them on their Facebook page for all the giveaways, and of course, even more concert announcements to come. I am blown away. There's already been some amazing concerts, and there's some that are coming up that are pretty spectacular. Incubus with Bad Flower and Paris Jackson. Paris Jackson is actually Michael Jackson's daughter. She's going to be on the stage at the Ozarks Amphitheater Friday, August 18th. It's going to be a great show. So Incubus fans, make sure you get your tickets. Also one that I'm really looking forward to, not able to go because I'm working, but I'm looking forward to Saturday, August 19th, the Blue Monsters Tour, which is Blues Traveler, Big Head Todd, and the Monsters. It's going to be a fantastic show. Don't forget to get your tickets online at ozarksamp.com.
The wait is officially over. Introducing the Beneteau Cruiser line at Serdike Yamaha, just in time for the summer. The Beneteau Cruiser, where luxury meets innovation at the Lake of the Ozarks. The nicest boat on the lake this summer is the Beneteau Cruiser, only at Serdike Yamaha.
If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV.
Welcome back to Happy Hour. I'm your host, DJ Kyle, and we have Professor Jim Paisley here with us.
Buddy.
Jim, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm really excited about what you have going on today because we were talking about this a little bit off air. The expressions, you always hear these different expressions like, like dead ringer and things like that. And you kind of wonder, where do those expressions come from? So you kind of have some stories of different expressions and things going on. So tell us what you have for us today.
It really is fun. You know, I kind of call it the history of stuff. And I thought we'd start this morning with something that you know, we talk about all the time. Getting up first thing in the morning, you got to have your cup of coffee.
That's true.
Well, you got to ask yourself, who started that? How did we start with coffee? You know, and who came up with that idea? Well, what it was there was a sheep herder or a goat herder in Ethiopia, of all things.
Yeah.
And he came out one day and his goats are jumping all over everything and they're just wild. And he's thinking, what in the world's wrong with them? And he noticed they were over there eating these berries off these bushes. Well, he's sitting there, nothing else to do. He thought, well, I'll try them. And he did. And sure enough, he got the effect of the caffeine and he's like, well, this is pretty cool. And so he started, sharing the coffee beans with everybody, and it spread throughout Ethiopia.
Wow.
Well, eventually it made it all the way to Saudi Arabia, and the Arabs, they looked at it and thought, hey, this is something everybody's going to want. And so what they did is they cornered the market on coffee, and they boiled the beans so that anybody that got the beans couldn't plant them. Once they were boiled, they wouldn't grow any plants.
Wow.
So they had a monopoly on it, And so that's really where the coffee started. Now, there was a Dutch fellow who actually snuck into among the Arabs and stole some beans that hadn't been boiled.
Yeah.
Took them to Europe, and that started that whole thing. And from there, all throughout the world, we start to see coffee being, planted and utilized as a cash crop. Now, it reached the New World in the 18th century. And basically, it really wasn't that popular here, because we drank tea until we had our famous tea party.
Yeah.
And then everybody's looking for something else. But it's kind of interesting in that Americans love their coffee so much, that even Teddy Roosevelt, he was a big coffee drinker. He drank a gallon of coffee a day. Teddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
When you get up there and say, bully, yeah,
He must have got a lot of stuff done
he was
during that
wired.
time.
You bet he was, yeah. And it was Teddy Roosevelt that came up with the term "good to the last drop."
No,
That
really?
Maxwell House used to use, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he came up with that term. So it's kind of funny, where coffee came from. Now, another one that I thought was pretty interesting is crescent rolls. You know how you have the crescent rolls? Well, those were invented in Vienna, Austria.
Oh, really?
And what happened is they were invented in 1683, and they celebrated the defeat of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Turks were defeated by the Austrians, and what they did is, the Turks, their flag still to this day has the crescent moon on it, and so the bakers there in Austria baked up rolls that looked like the crescent moon, and so when you ate a crescent roll, you were devouring your enemy.
Wow. Wow. And I love crescent
Yeah,
rolls.
I do.
that-
I still do,
Especially a
yeah.
nice one with a breakfast sandwich. Ooh,
Right.
yeah.
And then, another one's like candy bars. I know, where did we start with the candy bars here? Well, we all know Hershey's, right? Well, sure enough, 1894, the Hershey Company, Hershey was actually a fellow that lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Milton Hershey, and he made these candy bars and sold them for 2 cents a piece. And 2 years later, another candy maker came out with a wrapped little chocolate candy, and it was called a Tootsie. Okay? Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls,
And that
yeah.
fella came up with that, and basically, it was his daughter's nickname was Tootsie, so that's where Tootsie Roll.
Really?
Yeah. And then one more is there was a famous candy bar came out in the 1920s called Baby Ruth. Okay? And everybody thinks that was Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
It wasn't.
Nope.
Nope, it wasn't. The Baby Ruth was actually invented by a guy by the name of Otto Schnaring. And in tribute to the president, Grover Cleveland had a daughter named Ruth, and they called her Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
So the Baby Ruth bar is actually in tribute to the president's daughter.
Huh.
Yeah.
And not the baseball player.
Not the baseball player.
This is also interesting.
They're so funny when you go to digging and find these things. You're thinking, well, where in the world did this come from? Lloyd's of London. I love this. Lloyd's of London, the great insurance company. I always thought, boy, Lloyd must have really been a sharp fellow. No, Lloyd actually owned a coffee house. He owned a donut shop, basically.
Okay.
And it was down on the wharfs there on Tower Street in London. And in 1688, what would happen is all the ship masters and the shippers and everybody would come in, and they'd have coffee in their rolls and donuts and stuff, and they would talk business. Well, all the guys that were in there talking business finally came up with the idea, we need to come up with the idea of insurance so we can get more people to ship on our boats. And they came up with the idea of insurance, And they said, well, we got to come up with a name of our company. And they turned around and looked around and they said, well, we meet at Lloyd's for coffee and donuts. We'll call it Lloyd's of London.
Wow.
Lloyd didn't have
He had nothing to do.
He's just making donuts.
He's just serving some donuts.
Thank God they didn't stop at, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, right.
Lloyd's of Dunkin' or something. Right? Yeah. Then, we can go all the way back into the 1500s, and there's some really wild stories there. You hear about don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes, I've heard that
Yes.
one.
Well, the reason why is back in those days, to fill a tub of hot water was quite the project. You had to heat the water and everything. Well, there was a protocol. The man of the house, he got the privilege to go first in the nice hot bath. Then all the other sons and men, then the women and the daughters, and finally the last one into the tub was the baby. And by that time, the water is so nasty, you could literally lose the baby in the bathwater.
Wow.
So that became the saying is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Now I hear it and I'm going to go.
Yeah. Now the other one, cats and dogs, raining cats and dogs.
Yep, I've obviously have heard this.
Well,
Anytime it rains really
Right.
hard, which
Well,
we've seen
and
some
I know
rain.
You're getting ready to head over to Ireland, et
Yep.
cetera, and over there, they built their huts and they had thatch roofs. They just basically put sticks on top and kept piling it up until it kind of sealed it. Well, the thing is they were inside with their little fireplace or whatever, and the heat would rise up through that. And the only warm place for cats and dogs when it was nasty out was to go up on the roof. Okay, 'cause
sit
you
on
could
the
walk
roof.
right out on it. Well, when it rained like crazy, that got slick. And when it got slick, the cats and the dogs would slide off the roof. And so people would look outside and say, it's raining cats and dogs out there. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, you just sit there and scratch your head sometimes. You hear about people talk about being dirt poor. Same thing. They're living in this little hovel. They had a dirt floor. Okay, people couldn't afford to have fancy floors or plank floors, so it was dirt. So what they would do in the winter months, it was a mess. So they would go out and they'd get thresh. They called it thresh straw.
Yeah.
They'd come in and they'd spread straw around on the floor, and it kind of absorbed all the moisture and stuff and everything. And then when things got nasty, didn't have a vacuum cleaner, they'd come in and put more thresh down.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, eventually it got so much during the winter months it would spill out the door. It got a foot deep in there.
Yeah.
And so they built a board across the doorway you stepped over, which was the
Threshold.
It
Oh,
held the thresh. Okay.
very interesting.
I mean, and then, there's so many things like people would come to visit, and you were considered wealthy if you could afford things like pork and bacon. So you would hang the bacon up out front, okay, and that showed that you were a wealthy individual. And so bringing home the bacon meant that you were better off than everybody else.
Oh, I see.
And then, of course, when you had guests come over and you wanted to really impress them, you'd let them have a slice of the bacon. And that's where they came up with everybody'd sit around on the front porch chewing the fat.
Chewing the fat.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's
So,
where that came
That's
from.
where that one came
Huh.
from. People thought tomatoes were poisonous. They came from the New World. They brought them back. They called them love apples. They were scared to death of them. And the reason why they thought they were poisonous is they would put them and serve them on, everybody had pewter plates. Well, the acid in the tomato would interact with the pewter, and it would literally kill you.
Yeah.
And so people thought that tomatoes were poisonous. And they wouldn't eat them for the longest time. Now, what the Italians ate before they had tomatoes, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But somebody finally put it on a regular plate and said it's the plate, dude, not the
Wow.
Right.
That's
right.
quite interesting.
Yeah. Now, upper crust. You've heard of upper crust?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, what that came from is in the old days, you had a loaf of bread and you were sharing. Well, they decided the proper way to do this is that the bottom part of the bread, when you bake it, it's kind of hard, sometimes a little burnt. Well, that went to the workers. And the middle part went to the family. And the upper part, the best part, that went to your guests and to the wealthy.
Wow.
So the upper crust got to eat the upper crust.
Huh.
So here we are. We've been slicing the bread the wrong way.
Yeah.
It doesn't go that way, guys.
Uh-huh. It goes this way.
Yeah,
The
right.
upper crust. That's
Yeah.
very, very interesting.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I love to find out all of these different things because, our language all came from somewhere and all these
Right.
sayings and these expressions came from somewhere. So what else do you have
Okay,
for us?
so I got a few more here. How about the custom of holding a wake? Okay, when somebody
Heard this.
passes away. Well, the problem was, again, people didn't understand the interaction of what they were eating and drinking with the utensils they were using. And people were using lead cups. So they'd pour their ale and their booze into a lead cup. Well, they'd get lead poisoning.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd find people laying at the side of the road out cold. And they think, well, he's drunk. No, he's been poisoned, all right?
Wow.
And a lot of times they didn't know, it might take 2 or 3 days to snap out of it. So what they would do is they'd drag you home, put you on the kitchen table, and everybody would sit there and wait to see if you wake.
Oh, wow.
So they would hold a wake, yeah.
And it would be quite scary if someone did, though.
Right, yeah,
which I'm
exactly.
sure happened. Okay, it
Yeah.
looks like we have time for one more.
Okay,
So give us a great
Guys,
one here.
I got to give you this one because
Okay.
this one has to do with wives, and you're about to get married.
Yeah.
There was a common thing known as the rule of thumb.
I've heard of that.
And
Rule
the
of
rule
thumb.
of thumb was that in the 17th century, an English judge, Sir Francis Buller, ruled it was permissible to beat your wife with anything as long as it was smaller than your thumb.
Huh.
You can go home and tell your new bride that, but you
There
might want to duck. When
And I might want to run, too.
the rule of thumb.
Wow, quite interesting. Thank you so much for this. I'm excited to hear about what we're going to be talking about next. Do we have any
Yes.
teasers?
Next one, we're going to talk a little bit about the WPA and the CCC, all the things that were built by the people during the Depression years down in this area itself.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to it. Professor Jim
All right,
Paisley,
buddy.
thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in right here to Happy Hour. We have more coming up.
The wait is officially over. Introducing the Beneteau Cruiser line at Serdike Yamaha, just in time for the summer. The Beneteau Cruiser, where luxury meets innovation at the Lake of the Ozarks. The nicest boat on the lake this summer is the Beneteau Cruiser, only at Serdike Yamaha.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Well, Will and Uncle Chris at Slumberland at the lake for another cup of coffee.
Yeah, we got a crazy story about how the lake formed, right? You're not really going to believe
Good,
some
bad,
stories.
and the ugly, a whole lot more, plus charges officially filed in the viral boat crash from a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago.
like a lot of them too. And a new cell phone law taking effect now.
Hopefully going to improve roadway safety, and a lot of local heroes lately. We'll tell you about that and everything else on this week's Cup of Coffee.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Hey, and welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, DJ Kyle, and sitting shotgun right here with me today, we have Dr. Aaron Riedel from the Family Chiropractic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, I'm doing all right. So tell us a little bit about the location of your practice, and then we'll kind of get into what all you do there at your practice.
Okay. Well, I'm located in Osage Beach, near the airport. It's actually a 2-story red building in the Evers and Company building. I'm on the second floor there. There is an elevator there for people if they want to use that. But yeah, just been located there for the last several months now.
All right, so that's kind of there across from, what is it, Sur Dike, and
Yep, we're
close to the airport, right?
Yep, we're right next to Sur Dike's Depot.
Okay, very cool, very
next
cool.
to Popolito Subway.
And you keep pretty busy up there, don't you?
I have been this summer, yep.
All right, are you taking on new patients right now?
Yep, we're always taking on new patients. It takes a little while. It's better to call, you know, and that way you can see, because if you just walk in, you could be waiting a while. You know, or you probably won't even get in sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So call and
Yep.
you know, make that appointment or whatever.
Yep.
So let's talk about just chiropractic in general. What are some of the things that you want to tell us about just the chiropractic work, and then again also what you guys do there at your practice?
Well, as in the name, you know, family chiropractic. So I like to treat the entire families, from the youngins all the way, you know, to the grandma and grandpas of them. And chiropractic is kind of based on the premises that, you know, if you, to get that proper, optimal nervous system function, musculoskeletal health, it's the alignment of the spine and other joints, you know, your extremities, your knees, your hips, all of that, your feet, because we walk on our feet all day. So having that, you know, that proper alignment in there too can help with just preventing low back pain, knees, or hip pain.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of times people, I think, because I've been in this boat where you go, you know, my back's hurting, I need to go and get the adjustment. But moreover, it's better to get the adjustment before the back hurts or before the neck hurts, like just for that prevention, right?
Preventative maintenance is key. It will definitely help you in the long run, you know, as you get older, because just think of all the stuff we do to our bodies, falls, even as a kid, that we take, you know, improper lifting, improper sitting. If you have a desk job, you know, or if you're out working, do construction, we don't lift correctly most of the time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And just, yeah, wearing the proper shoes to help with that too.
Yeah. So now, for someone like me, 45 years old, I do DJ work, so I'm always loading stuff, you know, picking stuff up. Again, not picking it up correctly, I'm sure. Loading it in and out of cars, day in, day out. How often should I just preventative maintenance go in and see a chiropractor and get adjusted and kind of get realigned?
I usually like to see people, you know, about every 6 to 8 weeks is a good alignment, because you can do a lot to yourself in that amount of time. If you're doing more physical labor type stuff, usually, you know, every about 4 weeks or so, I like to do a little bit more, because it's harder on the body.
Now, does that change, like, the older that you get? You need to go more often, or?
Yeah, usually as we get older, you know, depending upon what you've done all your life, and that it can play an effect in most of
You mean this click when I do this isn't normal?
No. Most of my older patients, you know, are a little bit more frequent, every 3 to 4 weeks or so, you know, depending upon the issues they got, because then you start developing sometimes degeneration in the spine and all that, so it needs to be a little bit more frequently.
Well, I've gone to several chiropractors, and, you know, you walk in and you go, oh, my lower back kind of hurts, and then they adjust, and then send you on your way. You do a whole lot more. You were talking about, you do the soft tissue, so tell us just some of the things you do.
Because if you don't work on the muscles too with it, you know, the stuff we do puts tension and stress on those muscles, which can put stress on the joints and move that too. So I like to work on the soft tissue a little bit too. And as you mentioned, low back, you know, you can look at the hips, knees, or even the feet. I've had people, you know, if you got flat feet, you're not wearing proper shoes, that can, by putting on proper shoes, that can actually help prevent some of the low back pain.
So you're really looking at the whole picture instead of just, oh, if your back hurts, I'm going to adjust your back, and then now your back doesn't hurt right now. But it could be, hey, your shoes are causing your back to hurt, so if you change shoes, you're not going to be in this pain again, or, you know, likely not in this pain. A good supporting
shoe, because not always where the pain is where it's coming from. A lot of people think, oh, my pain's here, that's what's causing it. It may not be. It may be somewhere else, that's affecting that area, which is causing the pain or pushing on that nerve.
Yeah, because I know there's all those like pressure points and things, like sometimes if your neck hurts, it's because something that you have in your lower back or whatever.
Yep,
So.
I've worked on a lot where, I'll be working in the mid-back or shoulders, it's shooting pain down their arm or up their neck, and that's what is causing their neck pain or their hand pain. It's just, like a trigger point or something in that area that needs to be worked out.
I know this is a strange thing, but I've had knots here where I've rubbed on them and I feel it in my tongue, like below my tongue kind of tingles, and I'm like, that's my back. Is that connected into my tongue?
That's all connected there. So we're all connected. So yeah, different areas can affect other areas.
Absolutely. So with school starting up here, just right around the corner, there's obviously lots of sports that are starting up for the kids, and I would assume chiropractic work and sports go very, very much hand in hand to make sure, again, the preventative and just the maintenance if you do get, hurt out on the field or on the court or whatever. So what are some of the things that you do with students right now?
Right now, because a big thing is sports, they'll start having pains because they were playing around all summer and not conditioning themselves. So a lot of times they'll get low back pain or even mid back pain because they're changing the way they're doing stuff. And it can help with recovery time too. So if you injure yourself, your back or whatnot, we can help speed that recovery up by working on that soft tissue and making sure the joints are aligned properly and you got that optimal nervous system, musculoskeletal health for them. And one thing too that's big this time of year, it's still hot out. So they're outside practicing, especially football players, staying hydrated, making sure you get enough water and electrolytes.
That's right.
Just getting acclimated. Yep, water right here, staying hydrated. But in getting acclimated to the weather, it's one of those things where they want to gradually work, over time, building up to 2 hours in the heat of the day. A lot of times, though, that can take 10 to 14 days. You just don't want to go out there and be busting your butt for 2 hours in the middle of the heat of the day, because more than likely you're going to, create dehydration, heat exhaustion, and it can lead to further, more worse things like heat stroke or something like that.
Well, I tell you what, I feel like there's a job opportunity right there. I'm going to do some preconditioning workout for anyone that wants to come and mow, weed eat. You can move some of our animals around. There's a lot of cleaning, washing windows, just getting them out there, and I'm helping them in their football game later by mowing my yard.
Very right. Well, if you think about it, most sports teams, professional sports teams, have a chiropractor on hand. To help adjust them. They stay adjusted. Some have, I know some golfers, that have their own personal chiropractor that follows them around, and they get adjusted before each event.
So is that something that you would go, all right, I would be on board with that?
Well, maybe. If you pay me the right amount of money, I can do that.
Might be a fun thing.
There might be an argument from all my other patients that come in right now.
Where are you now? So let's talk about location and how someone can maybe set up an appointment.
We're in Osage Beach. We cover the whole area here. I've had people from all over the area. You can give us a call. The number is 573-348-6640, and Colleen will gladly get you on the books. We usually try to get you in within a fairly, decent time. We won't make you wait 2 weeks. We'll work in the schedule. That way it's not, a long period of time before, and you're stuck in pain for 2 weeks before you can get in get any relief.
Yeah, well, that's very, very nice to meet you, Dr. Aaron. Again, Family Chiropractic, Dr. Aaron Riedel. Go check him out. You can check him out online as well, yourfamilychiro.net. Dr. Aaron, thank you so much for coming in here.
And good to be here.
And good luck with everything. So, all ages, make sure you check him out and make sure you book that appointment today. We have more with Happy Hour coming up next.
The wait is officially over. Introducing the Beneteau Cruiser line at Serdike Yamaha, just in time for the summer. The Beneteau Cruiser, where luxury meets innovation at the Lake of the Ozarks. The nicest boat on the lake this summer is the Beneteau Cruiser, only at Surdike Yamaha.
If you want to experience something amazing, go check out the Ozarks Amphitheater. They are the exclusive attraction of Happy Hour, and I tell you what, they have some amazing concerts. Already have had some amazing concerts. Make sure you follow them on their Facebook page for all the giveaways and, of course, even more concert announcements to come. I am blown away. There's already been some amazing concerts, and there's some that are coming up that are pretty spectacular. Incubus with Bad Flower and Paris Jackson. Paris Jackson is actually Michael Jackson's daughter. She's going to be on the stage at the Ozarks Amphitheater Friday, August 18th. It's going to be a great show. So Incubus fans, make sure you get your tickets. Also, one that I'm really looking forward to, not able to go because I'm working, but I'm looking forward to Saturday, August 19th, the Blue Monsters Tour, which is Blues Traveler, Big Head Todd, and the Monsters. It's going to be a fantastic show. Don't forget to get your tickets online at ozarksamp.com.
If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it. Welcome to another Furry Friends presented by our veterinary out here at Ozarks Cat and Canine. I'm here with Mary Meow Me Tilly. I'm Megan Albers, and we have Snap, Crackle, and Pop with us. This is Crackle, that is Pop, and Snap is...
Snap's around here somewhere.
Behind us on the ground.
Probably about to get into it with Rosie, is what it looks like.
She's the boss of the room.
So everybody refers to these guys as the triplets.
Okay.
I cannot tell them apart without. Well, I can tell Pop apart because she's the female.
Yeah.
Snap and Crackle are males. They're so identical. She's a little bit smaller, so I can usually pick her out with the 3 of them if I see all 3 together. But the other 2, I got to use the chip reader to tell who's who. But yeah, these guys are about 4.5 months old. They were part of an oops litter. The lady actually had an appointment to get the cat spayed, but she was waiting. All the spay and neuter appointments pretty much are booked way out right now.
Yeah.
We got a message from the Eldon Spay and Neuter Clinic the other day that they do not have any appointments left for the entire year of 23.
Oh my gosh.
While she was waiting to get the cat spayed,
Yeah.
She got pregnant and had babies.
Oh man.
Pause.
So,
The cat.
So, apologize for that. Crackle got a little interested in the camera. You know, maybe he has a promising future as a videographer. David is now hopefully under control. Or he has the camera under control, I should say. Okay, so tell me about these cats. Do they need to go together or?
well, we always like to see them go at least in pairs.
Okay.
Kittens do so much better in pairs because they have a built-in playmate. They don't get bored as easily, and kittens who get bored are kittens who are destructive.
Yeah.
And that's when they are going to tear up your things, they're going to get in the trash and the toilet paper rolls and all that kind of stuff. And not to say that they won't do that, they might just team up and do it in pairs, but they won't be bored, that's for certain, because they're going to have a buddy. So it's rare that we will see 3 of them go together at one time, but we would like to see them at least, if possible, go in pairs or go into a home that has another playful cat. Okay. On that note, speaking of 3 going at the same time, we recently featured Rollo, and Rollo and Argus and Percy, who we had previously featured. Yeah. All 3 went home together.
Oh, love that.
The lady came in looking for a female adult cat and ended up with 3 male kittens.
Hey, it happens.
But they are having the life right
That's
now.
awesome.
She said she couldn't make up her mind between Rollo and Percy. But then she also couldn't bear to separate the 2 brothers.
Yeah.
So it was a triple
that.
play that day. It was great. We'd love to see that again with you 3. Yeah.
So you guys also do a deal, right? If you adopt 1 cat, you get like a discount on the other one?
Yes,
okay.
yes. So the adoption fee is $60 for 1. It's regardless of age, and then it's $30 for the second, and I charge the lady $30 for the third one as well.
There you go.
So that one was basically buy 2, get 1 free.
Yeah. So do they have any guidelines or anything, or just here have some kittens?
No. Yeah. I mean, we do have the application process, of course, but usually with healthy kittens that have no issues going on or anything, we're a little more lenient than we would be. Same thing with puppies. Don't have those restrictions like that you have to have a vet check and everything like we do with some of our medical cases and things. We have the same application that you fill out for cats and dogs, but we're looking at different questions on there depending on which you want. Because sometimes I'll have somebody who comes in and they're filling out the application for the cat and they're like, I don't have a fenced yard. And I'm like, well, we're primarily looking at that for dogs. What we often can do, it just depends on everything else on your app and what you respond and everything. But a lot of times what we will do, if you've never had a pet before or it's been several years since you've had a pet so you don't have a vet reference, we will have you sign an agreement. We'll have you sign what we call a vet agreement, and that is agreeing to take your adopted cat or dog into a vet within 30 days of adoption for a wellness exam. And then a lot of times with puppies and kittens, they may still have shots that they still need because they weren't old enough when they left us. And then the reason we do that is to get that animal established at a veterinarian. That way they can put their records on file, send you reminders when they're going to come due again for vaccines and stuff. And then also that way if there was some kind of an emergency, the cat got sick or injured, you're not scrambling around trying to find somebody who says, oh, well, we can't take new patients right now, or, things like that. It makes it a little easier, and, in case somebody gets sick or hurt, that, you've got a vet who has that animal's information on file. You're not scrambling trying to find shot dates and all that. You can just take them in and get them seen and get them taken care of as soon as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well,
hey!
That's either Crackle or Pop. I think that's Pop. Pop's being chaotic down there. Well, if you would like 3 super fun
you're
kittens.
Pop. That's Snap.
That's Snap. There we go. You have Pop. Okay.
That's Snap snapping on my shoe.
If you adopt all 3, they're going to need collars that are different colors for sure. If you want 3 little bundles of chaos that are so much fun, or maybe 2, or maybe 1. That'd be great if they could all go home at the same time. You can fill out an application at ozarkscatandcanine.com or swing by the shelter. Come meet them, hang out. I highly recommend it. They're a lot of fun. Thanks again, Mary. It's always fun hanging out with you.
Always.
In the cat room. That does it for another Furry Friends presented by our veterinary. Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
The wait is officially over. Introducing the Beneteau Cruiser line at Serdike Yamaha, just in time for the summer. The Beneteau Cruiser, where luxury meets innovation at the Lake of the Ozarks. The nicest boat on the lake this summer is the Beneteau Cruiser, only at Serdike Yamaha.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the Happy Hour show today. Again, I'm your host, DJ Kyle. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to our sponsors, Lindy Springs, the official water of Happy Hour, our good friends at our veterinary, Serdike Yamaha, year-round fun, always a great time with them, and our good friends at the Ozarks Amphitheater, the exclusive attraction of Happy Hour. Again, thank you each and every one of you for joining us today, and thanks to all of the guests that we had on the show, Tom Abbott from the Amphitheater, the Ozarks Amphitheater, Jim Paisley, Dr. Aaron Riedel from Family Chiropractic, and of course, Megan and our furry friends. Join us next week, a fantastic show. I'm going to teach you how, well, I don't know if I'm teaching, but I'm going to show you how I learned how to tan a cowhide next week. So that's going to be kind of fun. We have Kevin Hilly's Talk of the Town. We visit the Camdenton Farmers Market. And of course, we have another furry friends right here at Happy Hour. We'll see you next week.